My name is Greg Ketchen. I'm the president of the Coast Guard Heritage Museum and a retired Coast Guard officer. I spent over 30 years in the Coast Guard, involved in all aspects of operation of the Coast Guard. Frankly, our museum here is run by volunteers, and just a rough number, probably 300 to 400 years of experience in the Coast Guard with the 50 or more volunteers we know. So it's a very rich history of the Coast Guard, but also people here with knowledge about that. The Coast Guard can share that, and we enjoy that. They enjoy sharing that history with visitors. Our self-imposed mission is to protect, preserve, and celebrate Coast Guard history. Frankly, the history is extremely rich here. Massachusetts is the birthplace of the Coast Guard, the 18th century, 1700s, where the Coast Guard began. And focusing on 4 of our primary missions today, that's search and rescue, which most people think of as a Coast Guard, the helicopters and boats going out. Second is aids navigation, which is lighthouses and buoys and lightships and those sort of things. And the third is what was known as the Revenue Cutter Service. Revenue Cutter Service was involved in law enforcement, national defense. It was the only Navy in the early to late 1790s. The Navy had been disbanded after the war and wasn't reinstituted until then. So we have a rich history here. The point is that we're here as a museum because this is the birth of the Coast Guard. Massachusetts is the birthplace. Plus, Cape Cod is such a rich history too. I mean, everything from, on a negative side, there have been by a rough count, over 3,000 shipwrecks off of Cape Cod. That's not necessarily a happy event, but the Coast Guard was involved, particularly from the recent ones. But it also is places where so many historic things have occurred. Upstairs we have, for many of us, significant is a flag, a Coast Guard ensign that is flown on landing craft during World War II when they went into D-Day into Omaha Beach. There's a flag there that flew that way, and to many of us that's really kind of an emotional experience to see that. Our docents, both the ones that are former Coast Guard and others that are historians, really enjoy telling those stories to people. They're just such a rich history of that. It's exciting. Our docents are not all just Coast Guard people, though. There are dedicated historians that just love maritime history and love the heroism involved in many aspects of what the Coast Guard was involved in. So it's a lot of fun. It's a family atmosphere here. So we really enjoy showing it off to our visitors. And the artifacts we have here are on 2 floors, actually 3 floors. Our basement is our archive and our research library, but 2 floors open to the public. The building that we're in is called the U.S. Customs House, or Barnstable Customs House. It served as a customs office for most of the 19th century into the early part of the 20th century, serving all of this as a headquarters for the entire customs operations on Cape Cod and the islands. It alone is worth a stop by to see the building because there's some very rich history of that. It was the first fireproof building built on Cape Cod. We are in Barnstable Village, but also Barnstable Harbor, which just down the street, a short distance, was a significant second-tier port in Massachusetts. It wasn't the size of Boston or Salem, but it was an important port. So having the Coast Guard Museum here now, because Coast Guard and the customs offices were both under the Department of the Treasury at the time, work together closely, and it's appropriate to be back in this building now to celebrate that history. Please do stop by. I mean, I think it's worth the visit. We're much more than, I think some people get the impression we're just a glorified man cave with a bunch of patches and hats. It's not that way. We have a few of those, but most of it are artifacts that are from, in fact, the 1700s or later, and just a lot of artifacts that were given to us that have so much rich history. All of them have been donated over the years. That's amazing. The quality of some of the artifacts and history associated with them.